Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be discussing a list of top 10 mystery, psychological, thriller, supernatural anime. I'm not including Death Note, Erased and Parasite. Because this anime list for teenage gamer. Thanks for commenting. And if you want me to make a list of your favorite genre, feel free to let me know. Just comment it, and I will overlook the comment section. Before we start, be sure you subscribe our channel, and press the bell icon, so that you will get notifications of our new videos. Number 10. Higurashi, When They Cry. Within a few days of moving to Hinamizawa, Keiichi Maebara starts noticing little oddities surrounding the lives of his fellow villagers. He then eventually uncovers a connection between mysterious disappearances and murders in the village and the annual village festival. He turns to his new friends for answers, but for some reason, they always ignore his questions and change the topic instantly. An increasingly paranoid Keiichi vows to get to the bottom of this mystery. Number 9. Paranoia Agent. Paranoia Agent is a psychological horror story about a series of assaults on an unwitting populace. The story of Paranoia Agent revolves around a mysterious boy who starts attacking people with a baseball bat in every corner, and now it is up to the police to stop him. Two agents take on the case, but the only connection between the victims they can find is that all victims were in great despair. With the clue, the two agents try to chase after the boy. Make sure to check it out, and don't blame me if it messes with your mind. It is, without a doubt, one of the best thriller anime of all time. Number 8. Serial Experiments Lane. Comprising of a challenging narrative, as well as an experimental visual technique. Serial Experiments Lane is unorthodox from each and every angle. The anime is deviously well made, and tackles a complex plot that conveys a similarly complex philosophy and spiel. Watching this anime can prove to be hugely challenging and seem like a psychological trip to the uninitiated. Often thought to be one of the most complex anime of all time, Serial Experiments Lane is something akin to an anime version of Homer's Odyssey, and it definitely requires a second viewing to completely appreciate. Number 7. Be the Beginning. Be the Beginning is a dark anime series meant for older viewer. The series revolves around solving serial killings and other crimes. There are lots of chasers, violent attacks, weapons, blood spatters, and dead people. In a world powered by advanced technology, crime and action sweep through the archipelagic nation of Cremona, inspired by the real city of Cremona in Italy, and other cities of Lombardy such as Milan. Chief among the major players is Killer B, a vigilante serial killer who has thrown the city into chaos. The stories of the protagonist Coco, a legendary investigator of the Royal Investigation Service, and a mysterious criminal organization, intertwines on the path to reach their objectives. Number 6. The Promised Neverland. The Promised Neverland reminds me of the intellectual struggle between Light and L in Death Note. You'll be hyped straight from the beginning. It contains flawless episodes with mind-blowing twists, and as you go through the pace, you will notice the development of each character. The story starts at an orphanage where children believe it is their home. But what if it isn't? What if the one they adored is not their mother? As soon as they realize it, the young brains try to escape from the orphanage. But avoiding the threat isn't so easy. It involves a lot of thinking and strategic plans. Can they overcome the threat and escape? The thrill you experience while watching it is immeasurable. If you're a fan of psychological, thriller anime, then this show is perfect for you. Number 5. Tokyo Ghoul. In a world where ghouls, human flesh-eating creatures, live among humans, a college student named Ken Kaneki miraculously survives an encounter with one of those creatures. Upon waking up at the hospital, Ken learns that the surgery he underwent transformed him into a half-ghoul. The story follows him as he learns to live with his new condition and come to terms with this new reality. Because Ken is now neither ghoul nor human, he struggles to find a place to fit in. Tokyo Ghoul is but one of the many dark fantasy, horror anime you should watch. Number 4. Re:Zero, starting life in another world. Isekai anime usually are not a psychological genre. They are fun, light, casual anime with a lot of fan service. Re:Zero is an exception. Re:Zero is a psychological thriller anime that would make you recheck, is it an isekai or not? Re:Zero sometimes goes so dark, it questions the fantasy setting. Re:Zero is an isekai thriller anime about Natsuki Subaru, who gets transported to another world. There, he is met by some muggers, but is fortunately saved by a girl named Amelia. In order to thank her, he accompanies her in finding her stolen insignia. When they come across the whereabouts of her insignia to their ignorance, a much darker fate awaits them as they both are brutally murdered. Natsuki wakes up to a familiar scene, repeating the whole cycle again. Number 3. The Future Diary. The Future Diary is a great anime and an enjoyable ride. The concept is fantastic, and every episode keeps the viewer entertained. Even though it does have some minor issues, the show is brilliant. Yuki, a normal teenager, gets dragged into a battle to the death to become a god. His main weapon, a special cell phone where he receives messages and tips from his future self. This allows him to some degree to foresee what will happen. However, all the other combatants also have cell phones. What they learn from these devices is determined by their personalities and weaknesses. Future Diary has a tournament format, where every episode features a fight between the kind of weak Yuki and the other deranged candidates to become a god. Number 2. Steins Gate. Steins Gate is an amazing anime that messes with your mind. It will leave a massive impression on you if you give it a try. It is a slow paced at the beginning, but once you move forward, it gets you in the right spot, where you binge watch the whole series in a single day. Steins Gate is a story about time travel, where a mad scientist, Rintaro Okabe, and his friends change their microwave into a device that sends messages to the past. As they continue performing, an organization named SERN, who has been doing their research on time travel, finds them. Now Okabe and his friends should be aware of the organization. Okabe alters the past, which creates some unusual incidents, and faces the consequences. This anime gives you a clear view of time travel. Make sure not to miss one of the best thriller anime of all time. Number 1. Monster. Monster is a dark, suspenseful, and extremely entertaining anime that leaves you in a state of surprise. In other words, it is a true masterpiece. It has a complex and yet beautiful storyline that unfolds over 74 incredible episodes. Dr. Kenzo Tenma, a surgeon who decides against protocol to operate on a dying boy John Liebert. Now, the two reunite years later, but not as doctor and patient, as doctor and murderer. With the guilt of helping create this monster, Tenma goes after the boy he once saved. Now, to be honest, Monster isn't as scary as the other titles on the list, as far as the traditional definition of horror goes. I mean, no jump scares, demons dismembering, human corpses or violent deaths or exploding heads or anything like that. However, it attacks way deeper than visual horror. It strikes fear in our hearts by simply illustrating how horrible the human being can be. Like the show's protagonist, we have perhaps had that lingering feeling of being responsible for some of the most degenerate horrors imaginable to man. Have we somewhere along the line helped create an uncontainable evil that lurks a lot closer to home than we imagined? It's a question that begs pondering from some of us. Alright everyone. That is it from today's video on Top 10 Mystery, Psychological, Thriller, Supernatural Anime. If you do not agree with the points in the video and have some of your own opinions, share them with us in the comments section down below. And if you like this video, then do share with your friends.